And yes, the Palestinian people are paying a terrible price for the war they started and the war they are continuing. Well, good evening. This is Bishop Robert Stearns with this week's Israel Frontline update. And you can't be any more frontline than where I am right now. I am here, and behind me you see the city of Tel Aviv, and in the distance, Jaffa. I landed here just a couple of hours ago. This is our weekly get-together where we discuss things that are happening in this nation and in the nations of our world that surround this ongoing conflict here in the Middle East. I'm so glad you've dropped by. If it's your first time watching, I have been coming to this land for 32 years. I am not a politician. I'm not a governmental employee. I'm not a journalist. I'm a person of faith who loves humanity and believes that God is a God of peace and that we need to be working for God's peace plan for this part of our world, because what happens here touches our entire world in such a powerful and incredibly intense way. I want to say something just as I'm beginning, and I've got notes and we're going to go through this in a moment, but I've commented on this before. I want to comment on it again. First of all, I want to say the incredible difference of the reality of what you see in Israel versus the headlines. We are constantly getting calls in our office. How can you be going to Israel? How can you be taking groups to Israel? It's so unsafe. It's so unsafe. Folks, we just did a 30-minute walk right here on the boardwalk. People are having picnics. Families are playing. People are playing frisbee, walking their dog, rollerblading. Israel is a country where I feel safer than most urban areas in America. Certainly, I feel safer than I feel in New York City or Los Angeles or Chicago. And so it's just an amazing thing to see. But the second thing, more importantly, and please listen carefully, directly behind me, you see the boardwalk, and it extends down for miles. And you will walk along this boardwalk tonight, tomorrow, and do you know what you're going to see? You're going to see people. You're going to see Arabs, Jews, Muslims, Christians, Druze, Baha'i. You're going to see all kinds of people living together, occupying the same space, sharing the same space, and coexisting. And most importantly, what you are not going to see here in the land of Israel, you have 20% of the population, 20% are Arabs, mostly Muslim Arabs, some Christian Arabs, but primarily Muslim Arabs. Many of them would claim to have Palestinian descent. Do you know what they're not doing? They're not rioting. They're not doing what the students at Columbia and Harvard and the horrific terrorist in Washington, D.C., gunning down those two innocent lives. They're not doing what these supposed Palestinian advocates are doing. Why? Because these Muslim or Christian Palestinian Arabs in Israel have a great life. Their standard of living and their human rights here in Israel far surpass anything that they would have in Jordan, in Lebanon, in Syria, in the countries surrounding Israel. You've got to pause and think about this. If what is happening is such an atrocity, and if Hamas, God forbid, should be ruling this land, if Hamas should be ruling over Israel and ending the occupation, don't you think that 1 out of 5 citizens of this land would rise up right now and join Hamas? But they're not. They're not, because they understand the barbaric, inhuman mindset of Hamas. They understand the culture of Hamas, which is a culture of death. It is a culture of suicide bombers. It is a culture of jihad. It is a culture that opposes human rights of any kind and enshrines Sharia law above all else. Folks, I am begging you, please get past your TikTok soundbite. Please get past, forgive me, the stupidity, the absolute stupidity of these university students who actually are not here on the ground seeing what is happening. I am having in 4 days a meeting, I cannot say with whom, one of the highest ranking Palestinian leaders who I'm meeting with, because his heart is for peace. His heart is to find a way forward. What we have to fight against and what Israel is not fighting an ethnic battle. Israel is not engaged in ethnic cleansing. 20% of their population are Arabs who they employ, who live here, who are doctors and nurses and lawyers and educators and Knesset members. What Israel is fighting is Hamas terrorists and their enablers who to this day, today is I think day 605 of the hostages, who are continuing to send rockets, who are in collusion with the Houthis and with Iran, who are calling for the destruction of the state of Israel. And so if the Palestinian people want peace, they need to do what, thank God, they've started to do. They need to speak out against Hamas. Hamas has got to be completely eradicated. And the Palestinian people must understand that the Jewish and democratic state of Israel is not going anywhere. And we have to find a path forward towards peaceful coexistence, because right here on this beach behind me is something that Columbia University students could never imagine in a million years. Peaceful Jewish families having picnics next to Arab families, enjoying this beautiful land. This beach behind me looks a lot like the beach in Gaza. This is what Gaza could have been. In 2005, when Ariel Sharon removed every single Israeli out of Gaza, dismantled every settlement, no military bases, no police, the Palestinian people could have said, this is our opportunity, this is our chance to build a future. Instead, rockets within days of Ariel Sharon removing forcibly, I think it was 18,000, something like that, Jewish people out of Gaza. Within days, rockets began raining down on Sderot. And from 2005 to today, there has been nothing but attack after attack after attack from Gaza. Eventually, violence has to understand that it cannot win. It must not win. And so, yes, Israel is fighting back. Release the hostages, denounce Hamas, renounce the Hamas charter that calls for globalize the intifada and from the river to the sea, and come to the state of Israel, come to the Jewish people and say, let's find a way to live together here in this land. That's what we have to pray for. That's what we have to work for. And so tonight, those are my opening thoughts as I'm here in Israel. I'll be going live next week also from here in the land, bringing you updates from the front lines. Every week, Israel Frontline Update. Hit the subscribe button, the share button, the like button. Get yourself educated. Get yourself involved in the reality of what is happening here. We'll see you next week.